Okay, before we even begin, you have to know that the Devil All the Time movie trailer is out now on Netflix. I'm gonna link it below if you guys haven't seen it. Check it out. It looks so good. I think this movie is gonna be amazing. Also, I made a video on the book, The Devil All the Time too, if you guys wanna go watch that and just get a little bit more back information because the trailer doesn't really give too much away. Mark your calendars, September 16th, I think they said. Yes, September 16th, 2020, the movie is coming out. Ow! Mark your calendars. Let's begin. Okay, so hello creeps. Anda here, and today I thought that I would just give you a few fun horror novels to read this summer, Women Horror Writer Edition. Now, before I get any misogynistic comments, your sexual reproductive organs do not dictate how well you write a story. Keep your sexist comments to yourself. Yeah, I just wanted to do a female horror writer video, just a little one, because if you did not know, I am a female and I write horror stories. So I just wanted to pay homage to the greats that have come before me and that are currently writing horror. These are like horror slash mystery slash thriller slash awesome slash, okay, you get it. I'm going to talk about 4 different just fun novels, and they are kind of all over the place. Like one's up here, one's over here, one's down here, one's over there. Hopefully you can find something enjoyable to read. If you guys have been watching all of my videos, you will probably see most of these books on like recent horror hauls that I've done. Some of them. If you haven't been watching my videos, what's wrong with you? Subscribe, man. I don't know, man. Seriously. So I'm gonna work backwards, so I'm gonna save the one that I think you guys should read last because I just finished it this morning and it's such a fun novel. So the first one that I want to talk about, okay, this one is silly. It is Dana Reed's The Summoning. I got this in a recent book haul. It was $3 at my local bookshop. Never heard of the writer, never heard of the story, just wanted to read it. The cover has like a cute little demon guy coming out of the ground and it seemed interesting. It was published in 1988. So it's like the campiness of 80s horror in book form. This one was really fun to me because I don't have a lot of like campy like horror novels. It gets dark in places for sure, but then there's also a lot of like lighthearted, funny moments as well. So the story is about a young boy who's basically on a mission to stop demons from taking over the world. That's like the overall plot. Dana Reed gets into some pretty dark demon descriptions and like what it's like in the underworld and how disgusting it is, and there are definitely some dark aspects in it, but there's also some lighthearted moments. There are like demon potatoes that run around and try to eat people and things like that. So if you're in for like a fun, campy, just crazy, silly, weird ride of a horror story, this one doesn't disappoint. And I like this one because the ending isn't like wrapped up in a perfect bow. It's a dark ending as well. So I'll just leave it at that in case you guys do get your hands on this. Or if you see this in like a used bookshop, for sure pick it up because it's definitely worth a read. It's funny, it's silly, and it says, "Speak of the demons and they shall appear." That's what the cover looks like. Okay, next. The next one, don't roll your eyes just when I bring it out. You're gonna be like, yeah, obviously you should read this book. But this is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Now, if you haven't read Frankenstein and the only thoughts of Frankenstein that you have stem from the films, you are going to be in for a treat when you read this. Frankenstein is not the green monster that he is in the films. In fact, he's very eloquently spoken. He speaks very poetically. It's a very beautifully written novel, and I really enjoy that. I don't know, when an author can combine really dark plots with really beautiful writing, it's always really intriguing. You know, this is about Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein and his monster. Did I call the monster Frankenstein? Here's the thing, he's an extension of Frankenstein, so I don't think calling the monster Frankenstein is like necessarily incorrect. Like most people will be like, it's not Frankenstein, he's the monster! And it's like, okay, calm down. He's also an extension of the monster and something that he created, therefore he's like part of him, but whatever. It's also just a really interesting story about maker and creator and who's really in power, and there's a lot to pick apart in this novel. And also this cover is so beautiful, and then the back it says, "You are my creator, but I am your master, obey." So if you haven't picked this up, pick it up, man. What are you waiting for? Why do I keep saying man? Third, I would like to talk about Shirley Jackson's We Have Always Lived in the Castle. If you have watched this in movie form, I know there's a movie that came out recently, but you haven't read the book, please, please, please put down the remote and pick up the book. It is far different than the movie. So the reason I like this one is it's very dark. It's linear storytelling where you just get to see this family living their life and you kind of get information about the tragedies that happened in the family and the mysteries surrounding it. However, the writer really holds back a lot of information. The little girl in the book does odd things and we don't really ever know why, and it just seems like there's some bigger inside joke with the writer and the characters that we're not let in on as readers. And for me, that's really cool to read it and not be told everything, that you're just like, I don't fully understand why these kids are so weird, but they take you on just such a crazy journey. This one is about two sisters and an uncle who live in a castle. You find out about the mystery surrounding their parents' death. You also see how they're treated by the town. I don't know, it's a very interesting, odd novel that I can't really put into words. Now let's get on to the holy enchilada of this video. What? Okay, so this is the reason I wanted to make this video in the first place. I finished reading this book this morning, and that is The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. I really loved this book. I really, really loved it. So it's about a woman. She gets an opportunity through her job to go on this like very extravagant yacht. I don't think yacht is the right word. Kind of like a cruise ship, but very, very tiny. Yeah, a yacht. I don't know. A fancy boat with very influential, powerful people. The reason I like her, she doesn't just fall into place and keep her mouth shut and just try to blend in. She stands up for what she thinks is right, and because of that, mystery unfolds. I'll leave it there. There's a lot of twists and turns in this novel. Okay, so one reason I really like this novel is, I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard for me to be completely impressed by like a mystery or a whodunit type book or movie, because it's like a roller coaster. You build up all this anticipation and you get to the top, and right before you get to the top, that's when, you know, your heart's racing and you're so excited and you can't wait to figure out what it is. And then once you figure out what it is, it's like, oh, and then you get over that hump and it's just like, yeah, okay. You know, does anybody else feel that way? Well, this book was not like that, and I was expecting that the whole time because it's like this mystery, trying to figure out what happened, blah, 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 and you get to a certain point where I'm like, okay, now I'm going to figure out what happened and I'm going to be let down. But I actually really wasn't. Like, I really, really enjoyed this novel a lot, and it's hard to keep me that intrigued. Highly recommend this book. It was really fun. I also don't know if the reason I liked it so much was because I feel very similar to the character in it. Like, she has a lot of anxiety and she feels very unsure of herself, and she's like scared to take chances. She's kind of scared of everything. Like, that's how I feel. And another reason I really liked this book is because the character didn't make this like whole huge transformation. Like, there wasn't this whole huge character arc in the novel where, you know, she starts out like really mousy and scared of everything and then she comes out on top and saves the world, because that's not always realistic. Like, that works for some characters but not all of them. And I think it's kind of cool to take a character that isn't the hero and then show her weakness and her bravery to see that, yes, she succeeds in some places, but she also falls short in others too. It's cool to see a character make mistakes. It's cool to see a character not be just like the unsung hero of the whole novel. It's cool to see a character kind of continue to evolve and, you know, like want to change her life, but to not make that full transformation in front of our eyes. So I hope this is making sense. I don't know how else to explain it. It was also powerful to see her... I forgot what I was gonna say. I lost it. It was a good book. While I like reading horror novels from female writers, I think, you know, as a female writer, it's really important for me to look at those who have paved the way before me. So I'm hoping to buy a lot more horror novels written by female writers. So if you guys have any that are your favorite, please leave them down below. I'm really, really want to broaden my horizons. But you know, it's good to get different perspectives on horror, and it's not just one gender's genre. We can all share it. Really good book. It keeps you in the loop, but you also don't know everything until the ending, and even at the ending there's a lot of like, well, what exactly happened? This is just, I think, just like a fun summer book. Like, it's about going on a boat, and I guess that's it. But for me, it was just like a perfect book to read during the summer. Okay, so that is it for this video today. I just wanted to give you a few quick recommendations to read this summer, or books to pick up if you ever cross them in a bookstore, and a variety of different female writers. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe if you want to, and listen to my stories if you want to, and if you don't, then I'll see you next time. Bye.